Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and my Patreon group. This is an event, a pre-recorded channeling with Goddess Brigid, and I'm going to be posting part 1 on my YouTube channel and also part 2 on my Patreon group for those Patreons who had questions for Goddess Brigid, whether they be personal messages or general questions. One of the benefits of being a Patreon member is that you get to submit your questions for these pre-recorded channelings in advance so that I can then ask the beings that I channel those questions. And since they are private messages, I usually only share those on my Patreon group unless some of the information that comes through is relative to the collective. Then I might put together a smaller video message and share that as a YouTube short or reel on my Instagram. So if you are interested in becoming a Patreon member, please do follow the link in the descriptions box for that, as I do host quite a few of these events a month. I'm trying to do more as I go, but the next channeling coming up is with Ashtar, so I'll be doing that one probably tomorrow. And I will be posting soon the upcoming events that will be happening in April, so look for that announcement on my Facebook group, Intuitive Soul Rising, and also on this channel on YouTube and my Instagram. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Rachel Sawani. I am a spiritual medium, an intuitive and channeling coach, and a channeler. So I bring forward messages for soul growth and ascension from higher dimensional beings of sovereign love light energy from many different realms. And today I'm really excited to bring forth Goddess Brigid. And if you're not familiar with her, she is a Celtic goddess, a goddess of Ireland. So she's known for her fiery red hair and her fiery nature. She is very much associated with the element of fire and creation and giving birth, as she is the goddess of spring and fertility as well. She has many different roles in the Celtic traditions, and she was so loved by the Christians that they made her a saint. So she has a lot of power, and she's associated with, again, many different abilities, and there's many ways that we can learn how to work with her as a goddess and spirit guide in our lives. So I will be, the first part of this channeling that will be on YouTube will be just me bringing in Goddess Brigid, because we did just have the spring equinox and I was feeling her energy coming in strong in the days and weeks leading up to that shift. And since the equinox, there's been a lot of major planetary alignments happening, just a lot going on as we are entering into a new year cycle that is signaled by the start of spring, but also a new 3-year cycle as it relates to our collective ascension process. So in this channeling, I hope to get some guidance from her as to what some of these changes might entail for us and how we can most step into our sovereign power as creator beings, and how we can work with her energy to manifest our highest potentials when it comes to staying in alignment with our higher purpose and missions as starseeds and light workers. So Brigid is not a goddess I work with very often or call on very often, as there's a lot of ascended masters that I typically do work more with. However, I do feel her energy coming in for a reason, and so I do feel that it's her divine feminine energy is needed right now as we are working to empower the divine feminine energy on the planet right now. I feel like her energy can offer some healing and support as we learn to work more with our own divine feminine powers and wisdom. So I do feel that there will be some activations coming through the messages channeled here today that she will be sharing with you, and I really don't have a grand sense of what those messages are going to be. I'm simply going to bring her in for part 1, and then part 2 we will go through your questions, and again that part 2 will be on the Patreon group, so I will leave a link to part 2 in the descriptions box for those who would like to follow more of her channelings in that group, because often people ask for personal messages, but a lot of the messages that come through are relevant to all of us as it relates to our own spiritual journeys and ascension paths. So with that, I'm going to just take a moment to relax myself and step into my heart space, and I'm going to ask her to step forward. And as I'm doing this, feel free to feel into her energy as well. If you give her permission to enter into your space at this time, you can often pick up on her energy around you and how it may feel in your energy body. Notice any changes in temperature or sensations, activations in your chakras. Just going to give her a minute to step forward at this time. So her energy feels very floaty to me. It's kind of coming in from above at this time, and it's just kind of starting to strengthen now. I'm feeling it actually coming up through the earth as well, as she's very connected to the earth and Mother Gaia in the elemental realms. She's also has a strong connection to the fairies and the divas and all of the different elementals. So yeah, so very grounding energy coming up. Also feeling some heart expansion. She comes in with a lot of color of bright emerald green, representing new life, new birth, the colors of Ireland, and the fiery red color as well. She can be a very strong feminine force to work with, I'm hearing as well. And she's able to activate your solar plexus chakra as well, but I feel like maybe I'm starting to pick up on some of her messages. So let me just start with, how do you help us as a spirit guide? Right away, she's saying she helps you stand up for what's right. She helps you to believe in yourself and to believe in your own power to create and birth new life. She's talking about new beginnings, and that is what the hallmark of spring, the spring equinox, really brings. It's a time for new beginnings, new seedings, new plantings of new life. So new creative ideas. The ground is fertile and fresh. The holy ground, she is calling it. The holy ground and the sacred fire within is fertile and fresh for producing and creating and birthing new life, and giving life to the seeds that have been buried there, or that have been unearthed there. She's talking about coding in your DNA, which I find is interesting for her to start touching on. She's saying that springtime there's a force in nature that comes in with springtime that really re-energizes your soul. It revitalizes you on a higher conscious, soul conscious level. It gives birth to new insights that when you are staying connected and rooted to Mother Earth, when you are grounded in the cycles or are aligned with the cycles of nature and Mother Earth, when you are connected into the elemental realms and the elemental forces around you, you are able to stay grounded in your own knowing and your own conviction of what those ideas, of how those springtime ideas want to be birthed through you, are gifted to you. Actually, I'm hearing the word gifted. So the sense is that we are gifted new life from our higher souls, from a higher soul level, soul consciousness level. We are able to produce new life in the form of our own creations as we are gifted the insight, or we are allowed to see or perceive what it is our soul is calling us to do. So that's where the sacred fire comes into play. She's saying it's really a connection between our higher self, and which is the wisdom of our higher heart, the divine knowing of what we are here to do, or how we are here to serve as light workers. And she helps to connect us from that place to the sacred space of our solar plexus chakra. So she ignites that sacred flame within, that sacred burning desire of passion and creativity that wants to move with the energies of spring to birth new life, essentially. So the color green is a very powerful color, as well as the colors orange and red that are associated with the fire energy, the fire of passion, she's saying. And these colors combined, because the green is also representing the heart energy and the new life energy, she's saying these colors combined are codex or codes within our ancient DNA, our spiritual DNA, that allows us to receive the highest benefit or information that is being gifted to us, or that we are being guided to tune to on a higher energetic realms. So staying connected to the forces of nature, the cycles of nature, grounding within Mother Gaia, especially in the springtime, especially around the time of she's saying the summer solstice, but she's also saying the spring equinox. So I feel like she's saying the times of the changes of the seasons, especially, is really helps us tune our heart to Mother Gaia's wishes, what her heart desires, what she is wanting to birth, what we are able to birth that is in alignment with the creations that Mother Gaia is here to sustain. So Mother Gaia is here to sustain through the adaptability, through the abundance that she provides, the sustainability that her environment provides for us through nature, through the natural cycles and laws of nature, that when we abide by these natural cycles and laws, we are then encoded with the gifts and powers of our own spiritual magic, of our own magic workings, guided by the elemental forces in the elemental realms, who are working to assist us in creating the sacred fire, stoking the sacred fire within, that is going to allow these new earth creations to manifest in a way that is in highest alignment with what is for the highest good of all. And she keeps talking about the nature spirits and the nature elements, that we must consider what is good from this higher earth perspective, that we are not just working with the oneness of our own soul and our own soul's calling, but we are working with the oneness of nature and the calling of all who reside within this natural realm. And so working with the elementals for her is very important in connecting to the spirit of nature and to hear that call of nature. And this is a planetary-wide call. This is a call to the whole collective to really get in alignment with your true self, which is the mother. It's the side of you that you have been neglected, is the word coming to mind, but been forced to abandon. You've been forced to abandon due to the patriarchal structures and rule that has been in place for so long. You have been forced to abandon the values and the callings of the mother, what the mother is here to create, how the divine feminine is here to flow effortlessly and it's really about creating abundance for all. So it's a pathway to abundance that is opening up for us now with these higher cycles, these higher planetary alignments. She's talking about the cosmos and the effect that the energies of these planetary alignments are having on the collective is to a call to rebirth, a call to reintegration with nature, with Mother Nature as one, collective, seeking harmony with all, and with gratitude for all that are serving you at this time. And she's talking about all the elementals and nature spirits that are here to serve and connect with us on that higher self level in those multidimensional realms, because that is where we can hear the call of the fairies. She's saying the fae, and she's saying many of you have connections to the fae and the elven realms, and times untold, she's saying. So it feels like a historic connection as we've all essentially ascended or descended in a form that where we've had past lives as the elemental beings. And so we are very much soul connected to these beings, and these beings are rebirthing a promise. I'm hearing a promise for new earth. They've come to help co-create with us from these new earth timelines and ancient timelines where we were all very much connected in these mythical timelines, which were very real in the sense that they existed in a higher dimensional realm, because time doesn't technically exist. So they still play out these roles from the higher dimensional realms of helping humanity ascend and assisting Mother Nature in her own ascending process. But essentially, we are all learning to tune our awareness to hearing the voices of the nature spirits and how they talk to us, how they whisper to us in the wind. She's saying how the fairies are here to uplift our spirits, how they are here to help us plant those seeds, or they help give us ideas and insights even to what we are being called to do as a higher collective. I feel like she's talking about a higher collective, that we're all essentially working together in this way from a multidimensional perspective. So it's very important to know your roots. She's saying to know your heritage, to not just your galactic brothers and star seeds, but family members, but also your earthen roots, your, she's calling it holistic knowledge that comes from your ties to the earth, your shamanic ties to the earth, the roots that you hold in the ground. So she's wanting you to study those roots and to really get to know your own connection to the earth spirits and the elemental realms, because you can hear them talking to you, she's saying, and you can feel them guiding you. They'll tell you go this direction. It's like if you're taking a walk in the woods, I'm getting a vision, you'll hear them guiding you, come this way, and you will see the magic through the trees. So you will begin to tune to your own fairy magic and remember the codes that are going to wake up in your cellular DNA and your spiritual DNA, that are going to allow you to really embody the wisdom of the nature spirits in your own life, in the workings of your own life, in the ways that you create new life for planet Earth through your own creations, as you learn to work hand in hand with the fairy realms and the ancient realms. And she's talking about realms like Lemuria, who are very connected to source and connected to their oneness with the all and the elemental forces within the all. And so very beautiful. So I feel with that, I'm interested in going into more detail about what does the collective need to know right now as far as what is happening with the shift, with the spring equinox. What can we expect as light workers, and what's coming into effect, and are there any changes and shifts in energy we need to recognize or know about, or what would you like to share more on that? just that she's saying just that the fires of creation are growing stronger. So you're going to feel a stronger call to be a part of this birthing creational process. If you are a true star seed and light worker, in the sense that you have been activated, if you've been activated on a soul level, if some of these codes in your spiritual DNA have already come online, then you are going to feel this burning passion. It's going to get stronger. The call is going to get stronger until you cannot fight it anymore, until the resistance, it's going to burn through the resistance is what she's showing. This flame of fire and passion is going to burn through any resistance, any residual resistance, any toxic energy that's holding you back from speaking your truth, and emboldening you to create a new pathway forward for the future generations to see the light ahead, because the future is calling you forward. You are stepping into this higher timelines, and you are being urged to connect with your true highest calling, your true soul's calling and desire. And this is the passion that burns within. So she's kind of associating with the passion of the Christ is what I'm hearing, but it's the Christ codes within you that are awakening. So just as Jesus stood in self-mastery of his own teachings, you too shall grow in your own mastery and knowing of who you are as creator beings, that you were given the birthright of not just Father God, but the energy and birthright from Mother God, Mother Father God, and you will come to know the Mother when you start to step into your power and come into alignment with your divine femininity. And she's reminding me that she is known as the triple goddess energy, which invokes the power of the maiden, the matriarch, and the crone energy. And I may have, I don't know if I've said all those correctly, because it's not something that is like very familiar to me, but I do know about the triple goddess energy. So you can look that up to get more information on those three and what they represent. But basically they represent like the three different phases of a developmental life in the life cycle of a divine feminine. As she grows into these different phases, she steps more into her power and role, as becoming the co-creator and birthing the new life and playing that very important part with the intuitive aspects that come online as well, that the divine feminine brings. And of course we all have divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy within us. We have both polarities within us that are always attempting to come into union and harmony and balance, and to create from a higher divine perspective that is in union with Source and the divine creator. So she's just talking about getting into union with these natural cycles will help you to embody more of the creator qualities that will allow you to manifest a clearer, more pure manifestation of or reality that you wish to, that your higher self wishes to create from that higher dimensional perspective, which is the fifth dimensional perspective, which is the Christ consciousness. That is essentially what is helping to wake all of us up to our own divine potential and bring us into harmony with nature and union with God and Source. So that is really what brings you into union with your creator potential, or what helps you to manifest your highest creative potential, is coming into union with your higher self, your own knowing of your creator powers, and bringing in the elementals to assist you in helping you connect to Mother Earth's energy and the remembrance of your codes with Mother Earth, or how you've been encoded by Mother Earth to be this bringer of light, to be this powerful creative being and force of nature for the wholeness and integration of the one. So very beautiful. And so is there any advice you can give us on how we can really step into our power and align with these energies? And is there any other ways you would like to share that you are helping us at this time as a guide? So as a guide, she's helping us to step into our creator power as a divine feminine, and that feels like a summary of what she was speaking of. She's going to help us stoke that fire of creativity, that fire of passion. She's going to bring that fire alive, and she's going to help that fire burn the residue of anything that no longer serves or that is distracting us from our path, which is our pathway to home. She's calling it our pathway back to source consciousness, which is our remembrance of how we are connected to the all and how we are connected to the earth and the earth planes, but also the elemental, the higher dimensional planes where the gods reside, the deities such as Goddess Brigid, where her energy resides and where she looks after and cares for the young. Because she's the goddess of fertility, she's also a goddess that works with mothers a lot, those who are stepping into motherhood and giving birth to children and caring for children. So she is one who is associated with looking after the young. She's showing looking after all those who are hungry, who need nurturing. So she brings a lot of nurturing energy, she's showing, but she brings a lot of fiery wild woman energy as well, because she's very passionate and feisty in that sense. She's not going to let you play like the victim in your circumstances. She's going to help you stand your ground and know your right to choose what you want in your life. The pathway that's right for you is always going to be the one that aligns with all of your ideals and all of your creative potentials. So she wants you to take stock this spring cycle of all that you want to create in birth, in this incarnation, and in this new year spring cycle as well. She wants you to take those ideas and break them down into smaller segments, and she wants you to look at each segment and really look at the ideal behind, which is essentially the reason behind you wanting to birth that or bring that into creation. What is the soul purpose of that for you? How do you identify your own soul purpose with these creational projects, and how do they all seemingly fit together under one higher purpose? So she's wanting you to take stock of all of your creative ideas, to have a time and a place where you set your intention to work with her energy. And she's talking about crystals, so there might be some crystals that can bring in her energy. I'm hearing amulet, but that's not a crystal, but I'm hearing amber. It's turning into amber, so that might be amber, but maybe there's an amulet you can wear. That might be the Celtic cross I'm hearing, or a symbol of her presence with you. Anything that represents her energy can be worn as a symbol of her as well, to kind of bring her in. I also see the Celtic star, is it? Maybe that's what I'm seeing. I heard Celtic cross, the Celtic star. Symbolism associated with her in the fire energy, anything that brings in the fire energy or the element of fire, working with the physical elements of fire and calling her in, can really help to bring in her transmutational powers to revitalize your energy, as she was speaking about, and re-energize you and redirect your focus onto what is of the higher truth and the higher truth of your own soul essence and your own soul purpose of creation, and what you came here to be, and how you came here to live out your highest creative potential. So a lot coming forward from her. She's really just about you stepping into your power and coming into alignment with your sovereignty and stepping into your power of the divine to give birth to new light and to empower others through the creations that you give birth to. So just seeing if there's anything else that she wanted to add about the creational process and manifestation. she keeps saying manifestation comes when you're in alignment with your own source powers. When you're in alignment with source energy, that is when you have the highest power of manifestation. So right thoughts, right actions, right deeds, knowing your power, not giving way to victimhood, not complaining or bemoaning your circumstances, but always looking for the way to bring a positive twist to, or see the call to power, see the rise to power, essentially in as the way out, the call to power. Sometimes you align with life circumstances that are really causing you to see the qualities of your own strength and your own wisdom, to rise in your power, to see the way out, to see the truth in the message, to get the message, the higher message of what your soul is speaking to you, and to then rise again. And that is part of the rebirth and the resurrection process that is also associated with the divine flame, fire, sacred energy that comes in for transmutation and healing. So her energy is healing. She can bring in the green ray of the healing motherly energy. Again, she has a very nurturing side that can really help to feed your soul, feed your power. She's a power line to source is what she's saying, because she is so closely related to the mother energy and the divine feminine in all of her glory, that she really can feed you with that divine motherly support and love that is needed to nurture you, but not hold your hand all the way. Like, she will be there to support you. She will be there to walk you through the fire, but she's, what's the feeling? It's like she's going to push you. It's like she's not going to carry you through the fire is more what it is. It's not like she's going to push you, but she's not going to carry you through the fire, but she is going to guide you through it. So she's going to be like calling you, like, come this way, come that way. And she has a very like fairy, like willowy type energy, flowy type energy I get with her. So it's strong. She's strong and powerful, but she seems to be able to flow with the wind. So she feels like she can come in and out as a spirit guide to kind of whisper in your ear and sort of guide you along in that way. And she also works with the fairies and elementals, so she can use them to give messages as well. So yeah, tuning to the energy of the fairies and elementals can help to bring her energy in and help you make a stronger connection to her energy through your solar plexus as well, if you bring her in through meditation, is what I'm hearing. So beautiful energy. Thank you, Goddess Brigid, for sharing all of that wonderful information for us. That is where I'm going to end this channeling with Goddess Brigid for my YouTube viewers. Thank you so much for listening. And if you would like to follow up on more messages from Goddess Brigid, please tune into my Patreon page. The link is below. And thank you again. I am many love, light, and blessings to all of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.